What's up, everybody? Welcome into Bets and Ball Games Week 12 edition. We're recording Wednesday around 12:35 p.m. Eastern, and we are presented by FanDuel. And let me tell you about our friends at GameTime SIDEKICKS, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, plus over 350 more universities, everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, and 40-ounce plus bottles and shaker cups. SE16 for the 20% discount to viewers. What's happening, Jay?
Not much, my man. We are in, day 10, AH, after Hugh. The sun's shining. Clouds have moved. A little cold here in the greater Chattanooga area, but it's still a much better day in Zamunda than 10 days ago.
It's been really cold here in the 40s, but it's cleared up today, and I think it's warming up tonight. All right, let's get into the good, bad, and the ugly from last week. You're up.
My good is the Georgia Bulldogs. That was a mauling that they delivered on both sides of the ball, and especially on both lines of scrimmage against a Mississippi State team that has been undeniably competitive every single week, with the exception of a trip to College Station. And look, man, you and I were spot on about the disaster that Mike Shula turned out to be. But Mike Bobo has found a perfect fit, two perfect fits in the Georgia offense. One, I hope at some point in your life you can find somebody as wonderful as my wife, but you need to make certain that they look at you the same way that Mike Bobo looks at the bubble screen, because that dude loves him a wide receiver screen more than a fat kid likes chicken. And Zachariah
Zook's offensive coordinator. I forget his name, but go ahead.
What?
So did Ron Zook's offensive coordinator, but I forget his name. Go ahead.
The Zachariah Branch is the perfect fit in Mike Bobo's passionate bubble screen world. And look, he and Gunnar Stockton have a connection that's gone back since Gunnar Stockton was a five-star recruit in high school, and that's becoming evident. So I said it last week. We were on different sides of this one, but I think Georgia's about to really start rolling in November because all their young kids are now coming of age. They've withstood everybody's best shot with the exception of Bama, and they're better for it.
Well, you were right. You were right. Georgia put it on. I was feeling good after that first Mississippi State drive. The cowbells were clanging. That didn't last long. All right, my good is Kentucky. Nice. All right. Once upon a time, a long time ago, from 1987 to 2018, the Gators beat Kentucky 31 times in a row. Man, I thought it was more than that, but it was only 31. Not so much lately. Mark Stoops has made Florida his bench lately. Florida has lost 4 of 5 to the Cats and got absolutely obliterated at Kroger Field last Saturday night. 401 to 247 total yards in favor of Kentucky, 24 to 17 first downs. Kentucky went 8 of 12 on third downs against Florida's defense, which we were praising early in the year, not so much right now. And I couldn't believe when I looked at Florida's stats for the year defensively. They're not very good. Kentucky turned the ball over 4 times last week and still scored 38 on the Gators and absolutely smashed them. So hat tip to the Cats. Job well done last week.
Well, my bad was going to be Florida, but you handled that pretty well. My bad will be
I was doing good, Kentucky.
Huh?
I was doing good, Kentucky, but you're right. Go ahead.
I mean, what the hell's going on in Red Stick, man? Garrett Nussmeier has anybody since Matt Barkley made a worse decision about coming back to school? Matt Barkley at USC was thought to be a top 10 quarterback and fell to round 4 after coming back to college.
Yeah.
Hey, I firmly believe Garrett Nussmeier will be fortunate to hear his name called at all next spring. Because, look, man, in this age, it used to be that the athletic quarterback was some stereotypical, even borderline racial connotations to it. But if you're not athletic now and can't move some, you're cooked. I mean, you are cooked back there because the athletes coming after you are that fast.
Yeah. Agreed. I would hate to listen to the show we did over the summer with our SEC QB rankings because we would probably want to flip from our bottom to the top. Anyhow, okay, my bad. You mentioned him earlier. He's gone, but not forgotten. We've said all year 12 to 15 targets per game for Cam Coleman. There's absolutely no excuse for that not to happen. And but it never happened. His season high on targets while Freeze was the head coach was 10, and he got 15 last week, and he turned it in to 10 catches for 143 yards and 1 touchdown. And what happened was Auburn scored 38 points and got 34 first downs and 563 yards. We had not been seeing that this year outside of the Baylor and Ball State games. Even with the 33 against Arkansas, that was a lot of one defensive touchdown and then turnovers given short fields for other points. So this was like good offense all day long. And what a game that was. And I'm sure you're going to talk about it more. But the bad for this week is Hugh Freeze, gone but not forgotten. And had you listened to us and given Cam Coleman 12 to 15 targets per game, who knows?
Before I get to my ugly, which happened on the same field, but actually happened in this same forum last week.
That's exactly when it happened, right here.
I really think Auburn should call, even if they call Morgan & Morgan or one of those attorneys who buys 1,000 billboards going down the interstate from here to the Panhandle. All you've got to do in front of Judge Judy or Judge Wapner or Aaron Judge, I don't give a damn who the judge is put the game tape in from Saturday and then claim you fired Hugh Freeze for coaching malpractice and don't give him a red nickel.
Not one.
My ugly is, look, rules are rules, people. Rules are rules. And what are our 2 football rules here? Don't play more than 40, and don't fade Diego Pavia.
And don't fade Diego Pavia. And you got one of the worst beats of the year you've had because you faded Diego Pavia.
It was painful, but look, there are a lot of things in athletics that can test your mental toughness. If anybody ever wonders how mentally tough I truly am, all I do is say, look, I'm an Auburn fan, dude, and I come back every week. That's all you need to know, because they find ways to rip your guts out.
What mental and emotional fortitude. I love it. I mean, you're ahead of it. I've always thought it was so cruel that Northwestern Ohio State bad beat because I was ahead of the number literally every second of the game, and what Van Pelt calls the pitchy woo-woo happened after time had expired, and then they, get the touchdown, which is nonsense. But you were ahead of the number all of regulation in the first couple of plays of overtime until you weren't.
Until they weren't. But, hey, you can't violate rules in this life, and there are consequences.
There are consequences, and you get handed one of the worst beats of the year for sure. All right, my ugly. I already did the good Kentucky. My ugly is going back to Florida. My ugly is Florida. You just got beat by 4 touchdowns and a field goal to a team you just beat 31 times in a row not too long ago. And I don't even know that I want DJ Lagway back. He better show something here these next few games. I mean, like I don't know, like if Florida gets Kiffin, which is very debatable at the moment, but like you remember how you could protect people in the NBA expansion drafts when the Timberwolves and the Hornets came in? I don't think I need to protect more than like 10 people on this roster, maybe 15 tops. Like, I mean, I don't care if they're all gone except for Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown, Jaden Baugh, and I mean, I'm sure I can name a few more, but there's not many. I mean, that was UGLY Gators. What a poor performance. DJ Lagway, 11 of 19, 83 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions, and you got benched. And, wow, he's got more interceptions than touchdowns now this year. Woo-wee.
To your point, circling back, it's not ugly from the weekend. It's ugly from the summer because there's a real situation. If I had to look back on it, I'm willing to bet both of us had in our top 5 quarterback rankings, Lagway,
Nussmeier,
Lenora Sellers, who's
probably
been sacked like 12 billion times, Taylon Green, whose team is the worst in the league and on a 7-game losing streak.
That's not all his fault, though.
No, but
No, I hear you.
I mean, those are arguably 4 of the 5 or 6 worst teams in the league, and all of them had lofty aspirations in some way, shape, or form because of who was taking snaps.
Yeah, I mean, I probably had Arch in my top 6. I don't think I had him in my top 3. But he's playing better here lately. I'm really.
I'll tell you whose numbers are overblown, who I know was in our top 5. John Mateer's like 14th in efficiency in this league among starters.
I don't think he was in my top 5. I don't think.
Ahead of only Lagway and whoever starts for Auburn.
You're saying he's been worse than all of them except Lagway and whoever starts for Auburn?
Yes. Efficiency-wise, Mateer has been.
Okay, efficiency. I got you. Yeah, no, he hasn't been. Well, he's got 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions since surgery. So, yeah, no, I would, like I said, I would hate to go back and listen to our SEC QB rankings coming into the year. We did a poor job with that. All right. Let's get – no. Let's first go. Let's do some FanDuel numbers to get you set before the weekend. All right, updated odds to win the Heisman: Mendoza plus 130, Julian Sayin plus 170, the third shortest, Marcel Reed at plus 700 or 7-1, Ty Simpson the next shortest at 8-1, Diego Pavia 20-1, Jeremiah Smith 25-1, Gunnar Stockton 33, Jeremiah Love 35. Oh, Haynes King's 100. Oh man. So my 90-1 doesn't feel very good anymore. Trinidad Chambliss, 200. And then there's only 3 more guys on the board. Mayava at USC. I hope I got that pronunciation right. 300, along with CJ Carr and Dante Moore, 400. Dante Moore, no.
Man, has anybody over the last 6+ weeks thrown out a Heisman parachute and fallen off the board more than Carson Beck?
Right. Yes. And his draft status. All right. Odds to win the SEC championship game. A&M plus 140, Bama plus 150, Georgia plus 550, Ole Miss 11-1, Texas 14-1, and Oklahoma 30-1. All right. Odds to win the Natty. Ohio State plus 190, chalk, Indiana plus 550, A&M 7-1, Bama plus 950, Georgia, along with Notre Dame, 11-1. Oregon 14, Texas Tech 16. Texas Tech's pretty doggone good. Ole Miss 19, Texas 30, Oklahoma 40, Vandy 100, and Tennessee 750-1. All right. There we go. Now to the games. And let's start with South Carolina at Texas A&M. This is at noon Eastern on ESPN. South Carolina 3-6 straight up, 4-5 against the spread, 0-3 straight up, 1-2 ATS on the road. A&M is 9-0 straight up, 6-0 in the SEC, 5-4 ATS at home, 5-0 straight up, 2-3 ATS. Home favorite under Elko, 4-7 against the spread. And FanDuel has this at A&M minus 18.5 at a minus 115 price. Gamecocks plus 870 on the money line. The total is 47.5. And the spread in the first quarter is Aggies minus 4.5, minus 104. In the first half, A&M minus 10.5 at minus 106 price. And your thoughts, or also if you want to backtrack, I don't know if you had any thoughts on the FanDuel lines I shared before that, or right into Carolina and A&M.
No, not overly on. I mean, it's starting to get pretty divided in terms of Heisman, in terms of Natty. I don't see a whole lot of reward on some of the longer shots at this point. Although I still could see a path for Gunnar Stockton at 33-1 because he's going to get Texas this week. He's going to get a very unbelievably important game against Georgia Tech on Thanksgiving weekend, and I think that game's on a Friday night, so he'll get the nation's attention focused on him, and he's playing well. But I don't ride what you got and hope for the best. It's funny that Mendoza's Heisman moment's going to be an unbelievable catch from his wide receiver. So,
right.
As for, look, man, 18.5 is too many for me. I would probably play under here because I don't see how South Carolina scores a lot of points.
What did I say? 47.5, right?
Yes. I mean, let's think about this. Nobody in the SEC has been sacked more than Lenora Sellers. A&M is second nationally in sacks. That is a recipe for a whole lot of 2nd and 18.
Yeah, it is. Let's see what Lenora Sellers' rushing yards prop is. It's 23.5. It's interesting. So Marcel Reed, I finally lost his rushing yards prop. I'm 3-1 on it now. He didn't have an attempt in the first half. I looked at the box score at halftime, and I was not pleased. It's gone from 38.5 to 30 last week to 37.5. So I don't think I'm interested. Lenoris at 23.5 is wild because you know he's going to have like 50 yards rushing gain, but it's just how much negative is he going to have? Because if he's got negative 30, it's a loser. God, he's just been running for his life. Who's calling their plays now? I don't even know. Anyhow,
it could be Helen Keller, and it's better than Mike Schuler.
Sure. Helen Keller name drop. Didn't see that one coming today. I actually, when I saw 19.5, I was like, man, that were to get to 21, I would think about South Carolina. But now it's 18.5, so I'm not thinking that. I would have to have 21 to think about taking South Carolina. I'm like you. I'm a pass, and I think I'm a pass on everything. I don't think I have any props that I like. Nothing there. So we move on, and next we have Arkansas at LSU, 12:45 p.m. on the SEC network, and FanDuel has LSU minus 5.5 at a minus 115 price, minus 215 for the Bayou Bengals on the money line, plus 180 if the Hogs are going to snap their 7-game losing streak. 56.5. Low total for the Hogs, high total for LSU. Others, we do have player props for Arkansas games. That's where I normally have a lot of picks, and I'm just seeing them for the first time. LSU in the first quarter, minus 1.5, plus 112. First half, LSU 3.5 minus 104. And let me share some player props with you because Mike Washington and Taylon Green have been straight cash money on their rushing yards props this year, but LSU's got an elite defense. So Taylon Green's is 55.5. He's usually been around there. He's had some games like around 59.5. Mike Washington was mid to upper 50s for more than a month, and they kept leaving it there. They finally got sick of that. He's 74.5. All right. And then I also normally look to the featured back against Arkansas's run defense, but they do not have rushing yard props up for LSU's backs yet, unfortunately. They do have touchdown props, however. And this is where I'm never against Mike Washington. He's minus 120. And I'm never against Taylon Green. He's plus 125. Harlem Berry and Caden Durham's minus 110, and Berry is minus 105. I'm not against any of those plays. I'm not saying I'll be on all of those. But, all right, your thoughts on this one?
Well, dovetailing off of you recommending everybody since Billy Cannon and Darren McFadden getting in the end zone this weekend, I love the over here. If you can find a Bobby Petrino with that Raggedy Andy defense that Arkansas trots out and the total's under 60,
right?
I mean, crap, man. LSU may get right and get close to it on their own ball.
Right? No, I hear you. I want to share LSU's run defense stats. Okay, here they are.
Here's the other thing about that, Brian. These are two teams that, I mean,
have nothing to play for.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But,
yeah.
and it takes more motivation to play defense than it does offense.
At 1,000,000%. I agree with you. I like the over. I would say 56, multiple of 7, key number for totals. I would buy it to 56. Okay, LSU, they are number 37 nationally against the run. They give up 126 per game. Oh my gosh, LSU. Now I'm moving over to the offensive side of the ball. LSU is only 128 in the nation rushing. I bet that's their worst in 30 years, or
probably since Curly Hallman was in there when I was in
Curly Hallman. Yes, sir. Tommy Hodson. That's wild to me. They only average 101 yards per game on the ground, and they're 107 in total offense and 99 in scoring, 23.7 points.
Which goes, hey, that rushing thing goes back to having a quarterback that's a statue. And
right.
every defensive pigeon in the country is taking a crap on it. Yep.
All right. Now, as for Arkansas, their run defense, 117 in the nation, give up 184.1. I need to look at the carry distribution for LSU lately, but I mean, I'm not against Caden Durham or Harlem Berry. I feel like Berry's been getting more touches, but I'm not looking at it right now. But Arkansas, they are 18th in the nation in rushing yards, offensively, that is 117 against the run. So yeah, Billy Cannon, Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, all of them rushing yards. Peyton Hillis,
Dalton Hilliard,
Casey Dick.
Watch your mouth, sir. This is a family show.
Former quarterback for Arkansas during the Darren McFadden days.
I thought you were mad at some dude named Casey.
No. Casey Dick. He's played football at Arkansas. All right, you're about to be impressed.
His brother Richard was a good high school quarterback.
I don't even know where you're going with that. I'm not going to try to figure it out.
Richard Dick. His friends called him Dick.
Okay, so yeah, all the rushing yard prop overs and the over 56.5. Buy it the key number of 56 for me, that is. All right, let's move on. And you're going to be – I have never done more prep for an FCS versus SEC game ever, and it's not that much. But I think you're going to be impressed. All right, Tennessee Tech at Kentucky, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, SEC Network Plus. So get ready to watch it on your phone, I guess. All right, let's see. Where is this line? It was 20.5 to Kentucky earlier, and it remains 20.5 minus 105 price for Kentucky, plus 890 on the money line for the Golden Eagles of Tennessee Tech, who are 10-0, ranked 5th in the nation in the FCS rankings with 9 wins by 14 or more. And I don't know if I'm going to get this pronunciation right, but, oh, by the way, the total is 52.5. His name is Kekoa Visperis. He is the quarterback for Tennessee Tech. He has completed 65.6% of his passes, 2,120 yards, 22-4 TDI&T ratio. Also, 440 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, 5.7 yards per carry. And by the way, they beat the Mocs of UT Chattanooga 45-17 earlier this year. The Mocs any good?
Not overly.
Okay. Now, since the start of 2024, this same quarterback, Visperis, 39-6 TD-INT ratio. Kentucky, 4-5 straight up and against the spread, 3-3 both straight up and ATS. Who is Kentucky potentially looking ahead to? They have on deck at Vanderbilt. Thoughts?
It's a wonderful drive to Cookeville from Chattanooga. Which is where Tennessee Tech is. This is a hard pass in every direction for me because all the stats you rolled out, one team has SEC dudes and one team is going to have future engineers. And that's what this is.
All right. Don't be surprised if Visperis has a good game. I'm not going to recommend Tennessee Tech plus 21.5 or 20.5. But I will say it's Golden Eagles or pass.
Hey, has Cutter Boley put the exclamation point on the very real possibility that Zach Calzado is the worst quarterback in SEC history?
Did you see his viral video last week?
Oh, where he was doing the money thing? Yeah. That's $1 million terribly spent, Mark Stoops.
Wow. And hey, that kid, or he's not a kid anymore. He's going to really regret that video for a long, long, long time because that was childish. Let's move on. All right, next we have, we got a good one here. Oklahoma at Alabama, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. And we have FanDuel's number at 5.5 at a minus 115 price. It's 6 at most books. Plus 172 money line on Oklahoma. Total 46.5. Oh, we got player props too. Okay, we have first quarter Alabama minus 1.5 plus 104. First half Alabama minus 3.5 minus 105. All right, rushing props. We have just Mateer and Xavier Robinson for OU. Mateer's 26.5, Robinson 44.5. So they're not done posting these. Oh, it looks like we do have receiving yards props. Deion Burks 34.5, Satania 65.5. Jay's favorite BAM guy these days, Jeremy Bernard 63.5, Ryan Williams 53.5. All right. Were you on Bama last week?
Yes.
And I know I recommended them first quarter, first half too. Those were all winners. Not that I did a whole lot good last week, but I did do that correctly. Your thoughts?
I'll be on Bama. Laying as long as it's under a touchdown, I'm on Bama. I think especially at home, this team is motivated and galvanized. I'd probably be on Mateer's rushing over at 23.5 because I think he's going to have to use his legs for them to stay in this. Oklahoma's tremendous, especially across the defensive front, but I just don't see how they're going to score enough points to keep up with Bama.
Yeah, I agree. I like Bama, same as last week. First quarter, first half game, much smaller. Those are small bets for me, first quarter and first half. I'll be on them heavily at -5.5 or 6. They are now 12-0 straight up, 10-2 against the spread at home under Kalen DeBoer. 10 of those 12 wins by 11 or more, 9 by 14 or more. As a road underdog under Venables, Oklahoma is 3-1 against the spread with 2 outright wins. Let's don't forget the revenge factor here. For Bama.
The factor is real, and I don't know if you saw Bama defensive coordinator Kane Womack met with the media today, and this is Wednesday. And somebody asked him about last year's game, and he paused and, paraphrasing here, looked at the reporter and went, "Thanks for bringing that up. I needed to get pissed off before practice." So, I mean,
he's being serious too.
Yes. He was
no problem, reporter. I'm glad you did that.
Yes.
24-3. They were a 14-point favorite, and they had needed a dub to clinch CFP. They did not get it done that night. That was ugly. So, yeah, we got revenge here. I will mention Oklahoma is 3-0, but straight up and against the spread on the road this year. But as much as I know I've praised this defense, I think let's remember they faced Michigan. They faced Temple, Auburn, Illinois State, and Kent State when they had they were top 5 in the country in every defensive category. Now facing Ole Miss, they give up 34 at home for OU, that is. Even though you won at Tennessee had 28 first downs, 456 yards of offense. Now, you did create turnovers and get a touchdown, and that's why you won. Credit to Oklahoma there. But this is an elite offense with Ty Simpson, 21-1 TDI and T ratio. I think Alabama wins by 2 touchdowns.
I'm with you. It may be my favorite play on the board this week.
It was my favorite play last week, and as of right now, it is also my favorite play again, all about the Crimson Tide. All right, 4:15 p.m. Eastern, SEC Network. We've got New Mexico State at the Vols, and FanDuel has Tennessee with an enormous number, 40.5, total 61.5. In the first quarter, Tennessee is 10.5 -118. In the first half, Tennessee is -23.5, but -134. Your thoughts?
I would advise everything Tennessee early. What's Tennessee's team total, Brian?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh wait, no, scoring. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. Winning margin. Team. Well, it looks like they have a couple of props. Team to score 50-plus points, Tennessee -125. To score 60-plus, +300. But I don't see a team total.
Well, I would be on.
Take that back. 51.5.
I would probably be willing to go over that, especially looking to go over whatever their first half total is. Coming off a bye week, sour taste in your mouth from the home loss to Oklahoma. Style points are about to matter for a lot of these teams. If you're still in the rankings or still even flirting with it, and Tennessee's surely on the outside looking in and needs help. But this is the type of game that Heupel sprints to a 38-0 lead real quick.
New Mexico State has not played any Power 4 teams, but they gave up 49 at La Tech. They gave up 38 at New Mexico and 35 at Western Kentucky for whatever.
And the other thing Heupel will do is Joey Aguilar will throw for 300 in the first half.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I know they don't get that. This isn't NFL prop bets where you can bet on what color shoelaces some wide receiver is going to show up in. But every Tennessee offensive first half number you want to look at, I fully support.
Yep. I'm a pass on all that, but I mean, I'm not against any of that, but it's a pass for me. All right, let's go to Oxford. Did I tell you I'm going to my first game of the year?
No.
Yeah, I'm driving to Oxford Friday morning. I
To
know.
see-
What's the
to
next
see
what's the
snot
next thing you're
kicking.
gonna? Huh?
To see a snot kicking.
Whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. So my cousin, his daughter is a freshman at Ole Miss, and he bought a house, but she's not living in it yet. She's doing the dorms right now. So he's got a little area in the Grove rented, and I've got some buddies from college that are in Nashville, and they're coming down, and I got a buddy from Tallahassee who's gonna. So I have my cousin, some of his friends and some of my friends, and we've got a
So
set up in the Grove.
if you need to get a hold of non-buzzwire, Bud heavy, inundated Brian Edwards, call him Friday before lunch.
Yeah. I'll be having me some fun this weekend. I'm a little concerned about where I'm going to watch the NFL on Sunday. So if anybody has any ideas on that, please leave them in the comments for us. I don't want anything too terribly crowded. I want to be able to get a Budweiser and be able to watch all of the NFL games within my sight line. Okay, what are we talking about? Florida at Ole Miss. Gators, 0-4 both straight up in ATS on the road. Ole Miss, 7-0 straight up, 5-2 ATS at home. Ole Miss, 9-1 straight up, 6-4 ATS. You know what? I got a little side conversation. Well, let me give you the FanDuel line. Ole Miss, 15.5. Florida plus 570 money line, 53.5 is the total. In the first quarter, Ole Miss is minus 4.5. Well, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? First half, Ole Miss minus 9.5, minus 120. Let's see passing props. What do we got for DJ to throw interceptions? All they have is alt passing yards, no interception props yet. That's unfortunate. Game specials. I'm not seeing anything that appealing there. Touchdown props. Trinidad Chambers minus 140. Jaden Ball minus 120. Vernell Brown plus 220. I'm not really interested in any of those. Here's my side convo. Where did Ole Miss come out in the rankings yesterday? Do you have that?
Yes, 7. They dropped a spot behind Texas Tech.
So they're not guaranteed a spot if they go 10-2.
Correct.
Very interesting.
They will be motivated. Kiffin will multi-times mention last year's disaster at home against Kentucky. Kiffin loves that Florida's flirting with him. He wants to show them what he has. And if anybody pulls a Spurrier type of 49-7, it's going to be Kiffin. I love the Rebels in this spot because style points will matter. You can't win. Kiffin will go get that 17-point win with a touchdown in the final 90 seconds.
He's Spurrier with Twitter.
Yes. And a dog.
And a dog. He is Spurrier with Twitter. Now, would he be interested if the Giants came after him with Jackson Dart connection?
I could see that.
New York City? Maybe. Hey, it's Diego and Lane's world right now. We're just living in it. Oh, man. That's another conversation for another day. What round Diego's going in? Because he's getting drafted.
Yeah.
Damn right he is. I need to go check out Mel Kiper's stuff on and where he has him, if he has him. Okay. Jay loves Ole Miss.
I do. Not as much as I love Bama, but I will be on Ole Miss.
Yeah. I'm not against Ole Miss, but I'm not recommending it. I'm not. I'm going to call it a pass, actually. All right, let's go now to Texas at Georgia. This is our main event of the weekend, no doubt about it. And FanDuel has the the Bulldogs as 5.5-point favorites. Texas plus 164 money line, total 48.5. And let's see. All right, we got all kinds of stuff. All right, first quarter, Georgia minus 1.5 plus 106. First half, Georgia minus 3.5 plus 102. Let's see. Are you interested in any props or team totals?
Not overly.
All right. Stockton's rushing yards is 27.5. Arch's 20.5. Bowen's 46.5. Frazier 57.5. As for passing props, Gunner is 219.5. Arch is 220.5. Wow, I'm not against the over on either of those. Okay, what you thinking here?
Do you happen to know off the top of your head what Texas's number against the spread on the road in true road games for these Longhorns and Arch Manning?
Yes, I sure do. 2-2 straight up, 0-4 ATS on the road.
I have them at 0-3-1 because I had Texas +7 in Columbus, but it may have closed at +6.5. I think this is too tall an order for the Longhorns, and I think Georgia knows what's at stake. Look, Texas is playing for the same thing, but I'm not saying Georgia's eliminated with a loss, but they're close. Because you're going to fall behind Texas. You're going to lose the head-to-head. And that's why Sankey's arguing for these guaranteed spots. Because all these conference games late in the year, if Texas has the tiebreaker over Oklahoma and Georgia, with Arkansas and A&M left,
I tell you what, I was very impressed with Georgia last week. No doubt about it. But I was hoping this line was going to get to 7 and I would have some interest in Texas, but it's going the other way.
It is.
It's going the other way. People are liking Texas. I mean, I wouldn't be against them if I could get 7, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So maybe I'll be looking to live bet this bad boy. No, I'll be at Vaught Hemingway and not watching. Or maybe I can get some phone action. But, yeah.
I think if you were going to get Georgia, you needed to get them early because they had to play so much. And now those guys who have taken everybody's best shot because they're Georgia have grown up a little bit and are ready for the moment. I mean, Mississippi State, especially in Starkville, played everybody tough as nails.
Yeah.
And Georgia curb stomped them.
After handing them 7 to start.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't like this game. Yeah, I'm not really liking a whole lot other than my Arkansas props and Alabama every which way but loose. Okay, let's move to Mississippi State at Missouri. I actually do have an opinion on this one. This is 7:45 p.m. Eastern on the SEC Network. And if I didn't mention it, Texas at Georgia is ABC 7:30 Eastern. All right, so we have – this might take me a second to find this one. Sorry, 7:45. Okay, we have Missouri minus 7.5 at even money, plus 100. Mississippi State plus 230 money line. Total 51.5. Mizzou first quarter minus 1.5, minus 102 price. First half Mizzou 3.5 minus 120. What you thinking here?
I'm on Jeff Levy and the Bulldogs here, and for a couple of reasons. Missouri was still holding out playoff hopes until last week, and now that's done. The third-string quarterback from the start of the year did not look good. I think Mississippi State's going to be mad, and I think Missouri's going to be disappointed. The other part of this is I think Mississippi State would be better served if they went to the backup, the Taylor kid. He moves better.
So didn't Shapen go to the locker room last week?
Yeah, Shapen got knocked out of the game. He got crushed on a blindside hit. Crushed.
So we'll know about the availability of him. Now, I looked on their injury. Now, it's not an official injury report, but I didn't see anything on Shapen. But we'll know tonight, I guess.
But look, Missouri's front seven's dynamic. And Shapen, I'm not saying he's as stationary as Nussmeier, but the other kid can run.
Oh, the other kid
touchdown runs against Georgia.
No, the other kid can really run. He's got a pretty good arm too.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Zollers was not good last week. 7 of 22 for 77 yards. However, being very one-dimensional, they still ran the ball for 207 yards against A&M. Hardy and Roberts were both over 100 yards. Both had a touchdown. And Mississippi State, their run defense is ranked 110 in the nation, whereas Missouri is 8th in the country in rushing yards. The fact that Missouri still ran it effectively, being one-dimensional against A&M, makes me think they're going to run it down Mississippi State's throat. Therefore, I like Missouri, but I have to have 7. I'm not laying more than 7, but I'm pretty sure that FanDuel is kind of on its own. And like I said, there's 7.5, but it's at even money plus 100. So I'm sure you could buy the half point and it not be an exorbitant price. So if I can get Missouri minus 7, which I can at other spots, I'm going to do that. I still like Missouri to lay this number because I think the critical matchup is Missouri's run offense or rushing offense against Mississippi State's run defense. And I think that's a mismatch. So I will lay 7 with Mizzou, but again, not a penny more than that. Okie dokie. Let's I need to pay some bills. Let me do that real quick, and then we'll do non-SEC picks or any other talking points we may have. So let's talk about Yearly Company, a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition and designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14K gold and natural gemstones made to measure for a perfect fit and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Because every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized, knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. That's where our sizing kit comes in. Code SE16KIT will take 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. Also, our friends at ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting, SEC25 for 25% off. And HOVI Dry Goods, your new favorite hat. Look no further than HOVI hats for high-quality headwear with a great fit and unique designs. Bad beat for 15% off. All right, any non-SEC picks for you, Jay?
I don't know. It's kind of a dicey week. I would probably, as long as it stays under 7, I like USC over Iowa. I don't know what the number is. I know it's in the double digits, and I know they're on the road. But Notre Dame will have as many fans as the Pitt Panthers do in that building.
That's true.
And when your head coach comes out and says, I don't care if we lose by 100 to Notre Dame, it's not a conference game. I don't really know how you motivate the kids in the locker room after that. And that's what Platt Narduzzi said earlier this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
That Pitt team's hot as a firecracker, though. But they've got a few key injuries we need to find out. Oh, wait, it's an ACC. It's not an ACC game. We're not going to get an injury report, are we?
Correct.
Oh, that sucks.
I think Clemson is washed. Louisville on Friday night makes a lot of sense to me.
Vatek plus 14 against the Noles, who are 2-12 straight up their last 14 ACC games.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Man, if Vatek hires Franklin, they're going to turn that around as quickly as anybody because the ACC is ripe to be picked.
Look, Franklin needs to chill because if he takes that job now, he's going to end up regretting it because the carousel is going to end up with all kind of jobs opening. People leaving jobs like US. I think Lincoln Riley may leave for somewhere.
Yeah, his name's now being tossed around at Auburn.
Why would I mean? Look,
Auburn could do a hell of a lot worse than getting Lincoln Riley and keeping DJ Durkin to run the defense.
Look, I was on Lincoln Riley early when he was the OC, the youngest OC in the country under God, what was his name? Ruffin that was at East Carolina. He was the OC for East Carolina. Shane Carden was setting all kind of records. I love Lincoln Riley. He goes to Oklahoma. I loved him there, but I thought it was one of the lamest moves ever to leave Oklahoma when they're going to the SEC and go to USC. I just thought that was so lame. So but if that had not happened, I mean, I wouldn't be against Florida getting him if, assuming Kiffin doesn't work out. But we're not assuming that. What do you give Florida's chances to get Kiffin right now?
1 in 10.
50%.
Nope.
You think he'll go to Florida before LSU, don't you?
I don't think he'd leave Oxford for either. I mean, I think he'd go to Florida before LSU just because of his family ties. Right. But I think the only offer that's really going to make him scratch his head over the top of his visor is the one you referenced about the New York Giants.
Right. So this is interesting, and we don't know. A lot of these teams are going to beat each other up. So what do you think Vandy's chances are? I know you got to leave here in a minute. What do you think Vandy's chances are if they win out? Okay, Oklahoma's going to lose in front of them. Texas may lose in front of them, but would Texas fall behind Vandy?
Vandy's got 2 losses, right?
Correct.
And those 2 are to Texas and Alabama.
Said that they're at Texas and at Alabama.
Right. See, it goes back into the whole tiebreaker thing. And not to be anything but realistic here, it makes it real easy for the committee to do it. If Texas's 3rd loss is at Georgia, but they beat A&M in Austin, 3-loss Texas gets in over a 2-loss Vandy.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially with the head-to-head. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, but a lot of teams in front of Vandy can lose. What does Oregon have left? You need to skedaddle.
It's probably like Wisconsin, Northwestern.
Minnesota at home, USC at home, and at Washington. I know Washington just lost to Wisconsin, but if Washington's QB's healthy, I mean, they could. I'm not really impressed with Oregon here lately.
Not when your best wins over a Penn State team that's cleared the deck.
Yeah. I'm not very impressed with Oregon right now.
Oregon, hey, what Oregon wants most is neither Indiana or Ohio State to lose, and they get exposed in the Big Ten championship game.
Correct. And by the way, that spread is 5.5 toward Ohio State. It was 3.5 last week, but Indiana laid an egg at Penn State. But man, what a catch. Whose catch was better, Cooper's or Coleman's?
Because of the stakes, I would edge Cooper. But the actual catch, if it's backyard football, Coleman's catch was Odell Beckham Jr. good.
I say push just because of the footwork Cooper had to do.
Yeah, and he that's a catch on Sunday.
That's what I think too. I don't know that everybody else thinks that, but I thought that was a catch on Sundays as well. That was incredible. All right.
Hey, before peace out, everybody. I gotta go run the car shuttle for the Tots. But as always, Brian, and thanks to FanDuel and everybody, great job by you. Tell everybody about your NFL picks.
Thank you, brother. All right, we'll see you, man. Okay, my NFL picks this week. I do not have many yet because, today's the first day of practice, so we don't have injury reports and whatnot. And there's, plenty of players that might be playing, might not. And we'll have a better idea later today and more so on Thursday and Friday. But the one that I will give out that I'm definitely going to be on, and I know it's coming all the way across the country, but it's time to start fading the Jags, ladies and gents. It is time to start fading I call them the Jag-offs. And the Chargers are -2.5 or 3. Actually, FanDuel, they're -3, -105. I'll be on the Chargers at Jacksonville. Great game with Seattle and the Rams, by the way. Fantastic game. The Rams are 3 at FanDuel and 48.5 I might be on Baltimore if their injury report's pretty clean. They're 8.5 at FanDuel, but other spots they're 7.5 or 8. So, yeah, if I could get 7, that'd be wonderful. And what a Sunday night. Man, we got some great games this week. Detroit at Philly. Philly on a short week. FanDuel's got Philly 2.5. Detroit 46.5. Dan Campbell calling the offensive plays now. And I lost in my eliminator survival pool last week. I've been sick about it all week. It's just terrible. Terrible, terrible. I made it to the last 9 last year. This year, I made it to the last 130 and change. And I ignorantly broke my rule. My rule is I don't look ahead and I don't play road teams. And I looked ahead because last week it was going to be Seattle or Carolina. Obviously, I chose Carolina. Should have taken Seattle, clearly. But I went looking ahead, and which I definitely don't do until like week 9 or 10. And there was 1 week where I wasn't going to have, because of my options. If you don't know, I'm talking about Survivor Leagues. You can't use the same team twice. You just have to pick one team a week to win outright. NCAA tournament. Survive in advance, lose, and go the fudge home, which is what I did this past Sunday. But there was going to be a week in like early December where my options were going to be nothing I wanted except for Seattle at home. And therefore, I decided to go with Carolina. I broke my rules. You break your own rules, just like Jay with Auburn last week, you pay the consequences. So, all right, folks. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Southeastern 16, FanDuel, and HOVI Dry Goods, and the rest of our fine sponsors. Good luck with all your bets this week, and we are over and out.